I find creativity to be such a magical and beautiful feeling. Sometimes it naturally flows through us. Creations that are reflections of our minds, our hearts, our spirit. And then other days we can find ourselves completely blocked, stagnant, idle, and then we question our own artistry. I've been there. It's an emotional roller coaster, and it can be damaging to our self-worth at times. But I don't think it has to be this way, So here are 4 reminders that will allow us to stay in a flow and nurture our creative spirit a little bit more. First reminder is you don't have to be on every day. You don't have to be on every day. Now, this is something that we often forget, isn't it? We become obsessed with consistency or performance and output, and we assume that if we are not creating, then we are failing. And this is incorrect. Where does creativity come from? Our ideas, the essence, the style. It comes from experiences, you understand? Which forms our individuality and our uniqueness. Everything that I do, I see it as a part of my creative process, my creative flow. The other day I went on a beautiful hike with some friends, and my original intention for the day was to come to the studio and just, bang out a lot of work. But then I saw the opportunity to go outside and just fuel myself with an experience. And I went back and forth, tussling, like, no, you need to work. And like, no, go outside. So I went to the hike. And then once I reached the top of the mountain, and I felt that feeling looking at that view, because let me tell you, this view was immaculate. One of the best views I've seen. I can't believe it's so close to my house and I've never seen this view before. But once I saw that view, I realized, this feeling, I'm going to come back to the studio and put it into a podcast, put it into a video. You understand? That experience will nurture the creativity. Think about Beyonce's album. I think it was Lemonade. That was inspired by a turbulent time in her relationship with Jay-Z, right? She gave us bangers, from a difficult time. Experience is key. So you don't have to be on every single day. A day of rest is a part of the process. A day of self-care is a part of the process. Hanging out with friends and family is a part of the process. For me, sometimes I'll do nothing for 3 days and then reach peak inspiration. And then I'm in a flow state, so focused, accomplishing, and just creating things that I truly love. And this creates just like a healthy balance and ebb and flow in our creative process. Sometimes I love to go for like a little tea date with a friend, and those conversations always inspire me. I get so many ideas from that. Sometimes I come to the studio and like force myself to come up with ideas or scripts, and I'll just, I have a creative block. But I can go have a conversation, tell myself, hey, put it down, have some tea, chit chat, and the next thing you know, ideas are flowing. So that is a part of the process. You don't have to be on every single day in your studio with the paintbrushes. Allow experiences to nurture you, because I believe that ideas have us. We don't have ideas, which comes to our next reminder. Create the necessary environments that nurture your creativity. When I'm at home, it's very hard for me to be creative sometimes. My home is still kind of half empty. I haven't fully furnished it since I moved in. And when I'm there, I feel like I got to cook, I got to clean for me and my daughter. There's a little bit more responsibility. And sometimes I'll sit there trying to force myself to work, and it just doesn't flow. But if I go downtown to a coffee shop, have a bike ride first, and then sit in the window and have my tea and open up my laptop, next thing you know, ideas are just flowing. Because I put myself in a position to receive those ideas. If you struggle for ideas, if you struggle for creativity, shift your environment around, upgrade your environment. Maybe you need some new plants in the space, or reorganize your desk. Maybe you need some new tools to help you create. I have a routine when I write. I put on some incense, my favorite frankincense. I play a song by Fortet called Lush. And then I sit in a corner in my studio over there. And that routine and the environment just aligns my mind, body, and spirit to step into a flow state instantly. And the next thing you know, I'm just writing away. I always say this, like, think of a seed, right? A seed has to be placed in the right soil and the right conditions for it to sprout and blossom. And same thing a lot of times for our creativity. If we are finding ourselves in a block, creative block, stagnant, shift your environment. Feed your spirit with some new sights, with some new sounds, smells, whatever it may be, and create a perfect environment for you to fall into that flow state. Our next reminder will be, you are still a creative, even if nobody sees what you are making. Sometimes we have this idea that because we are not known for our work or our art, or we're not popular or getting lots of views or likes or making money from it, it doesn't mean that we're not an artist or a creative, but that's not true. Even if nobody saw you paint, you're still an artist. It's important that we don't put all our validation on affirmations and views from the world, right? Because creativity, first and foremost, is a healing process, right? It's something of joy to be excited about. It's a way to transmute our experiences and our feelings into something, onto paper, a canvas, into sound, into video. I think it explains the hidden things within ourselves that we can't quite explain by just talking sometimes. And every artist will go through a period where nobody cares what you do. It's just true. We will all go through that. It's a necessary stage in the journey. It develops our self-worth and our belief in ourselves. It aligns our values, because if all you care about is the validation, you won't make it very far. And then you may realize that the thing that you're working on, maybe it's not really something you want to do, because you're not doing it for you. When I was creating content before anyone knew me, I was pumping content after content after content, and I was super proud of it, and nobody was watching it. None of my YouTube videos would even hit 300 views. Anything on Instagram, barely even hit 50 likes, and nobody was watching me. But I believed in myself regardless. I've been creating 10 years, and really just in the last 2 years is when everything went. But those 8 years of no one knowing really who I am developed my confidence in myself, where I was like, y'all are just late, develop that attitude, become confident in what you are doing because you love it and you believe in yourself, that even if you're not getting the attention you feel you deserve, to say, it's not my time yet, or they're just a little late. How do you explain something that's never been done before? What you are bringing into the world probably has never been done before, with your individual taste, essence, uniqueness. Great things take times, and creating content to me is like a beautiful spiritual journey. It's a reflection. You learn more about yourself. I've learned about myself through content creation more than anything else, more than any book has taught me, any mentor. My content creation journey has been a learning journey about myself, and that's why I do it. The likes, the views, all of that is amazing. It's great. But that's the icing on top, you understand? So make sure that you are just falling in love with the process. Continue to learn, continue to share, and publish. Even if nobody sees, regardless, you are still an artist. And our fourth creative reminder will be, we're going to be so creative after this, I can feel it. Limitations are good. Limitations are good. Sometimes we convince ourselves because we don't have the right equipment or the tools or the time to create that it's not a good time to create, or we're not meant to do it. But I found on my journey that the limitations I had were some of my greatest offerings. When I first started making videos, I had one lens, a 50 millimeter, I believe, and a pair of rollerblades. And I use those rollerblades to get smooth shots. Like, no lie, I'll show you a clip of one of the very first videos I made. And I just put on my rollerblades and went for it. You see how those ladies were on their bikes? Like, I could have, complained and said, oh, I don't have a stabilizer. I don't have a glide cam. I don't have a dolly. But instead I said, you know what? I got some old rollerblades that don't even fit me anymore, but I can throw those on for 30 minutes and let's go. You understand? I didn't know even what I was doing. I didn't know what an aperture was, a shutter was. I didn't know what an ISO was. I was just having fun. And those limitations gave me less options and made the path more narrow for me. So I had to just use what I had. It was a gift. It was an offering. Sometimes if you have way too much, you start to procrastinate and it's overwhelming. Now think about that burger joint In-N-Out. Now I haven't been to In-N-Out since like 10 years. But when you go into In-N-Out, it's something interesting about that menu. The simplicity. They have like 1 or 2 burgers. There's nothing really on that menu. It's very simple. So you don't walk in there looking at the menu, bombarded with all these options. You walk in there and you're able to decide. You just want the classic thing they got. Everybody knows it's good. And you choose your order. If you go somewhere else, like a different burger joint, I don't know, let's say McDonald's. I don't go there either. But if you go there, the menu is ridiculous. You understand? They got like 50 options and you can be sitting there like, what do I want? There's something beautiful about simplicity when it comes to our content creation and just working with what you have. A lack of time is an amazing thing. I've created some of my best creations due to a lack of time. Those boundaries really forced me to create something because I needed to do something for my spirit. I created a video once for Oculus, Facebook Oculus. They contacted me and it was like one of the first times I got paid for my own content. And they gave me 3 days to shoot and edit a 30-minute film in 360 VR, something I've never done before, something I didn't know how to edit. I even questioned, is this possible? 3 days for a 30-minute film in VR with Facebook Oculus? Like the pressure was on and I had a lack of time. That limitation and that pressure put my spirit into a different type of acceleration. And when I sent that video in, I was so proud of myself. I literally said, within the boundaries and limitations I had, my lack of knowledge in 360 VR, the time restrictions, I said, there's nothing better I could have done with this video. This is 100%. This is as good as I could have made it. You understand? I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 days, but I felt so proud of myself, and that energy I carried into my next project and into my next project. And soon after that is when the rest of my social profile started to blow up because I believed in myself. I took those limitations and I said, I'm going to make something out of this. Limitations can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. They can guide you. They can give you a pathway. They are not there to stop you, but my friend, they are there to support you. So those are 4 creative reminders, things that you already know that you just had to sow the truth back in to spark that spirit and get creating again. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to the video. And yeah, I appreciate you. Cheers. Whoa. Oh, this is a vibe thing. Oh. I like this. Ooh. Okay.